Yeah, so welcome at least to the portal space, to our I'll say our first VC in here. Hopefully you guys have a pretty good time with it. I know people are going to be exploring around and finding their fun places to sit, like Brink in the corner there, just staring at everyone. Um, but yeah, we'll kind of jump into the week full of announcements and fun things. This actually was a pretty amazing week, to be honest with you. Um, I think one of the biggest highlights, which I know we tried to leverage, was to do the Brave announcement. So we kind of had partnered up with Brave. I'm trying to think of actually when that had started. I want to say it was almost 2 months ago. Maybe it's like 6 weeks or so. And I think they were more so reaching out to try to start capturing, the NFT audience that exists. They definitely recognize that, that audience, is a more advanced user and, leverages wallets and such, a few different wallets. And, I think the Slope incident that had happened, kind of negatively impacted the trust that exists with wallets. So I think, they're a trusted name in the space. They have their own wallet, and they essentially wanted to kind of get integrated in with other projects. Since we're, the number one utility project that exists in Solana, it only made sense to also get their wallet enabled for Foxes. Um, I think once the idea popped up, and they're like, "Do you think that we could integrate Brave's wallet into your tools?" We were like, "Sure." And so I asked Dev, and I think he had it ready to go in like, I don't know, a couple of days. I'm sure he wasn't working on it the whole time, but we got it done in a much shorter period of time than I think they even were expecting us to like say yes. And I think just based off of that willingness and ability to kind of get it done, they're like, okay, let's essentially help these guys out a little bit, with our project, because they know what we're capable of, and they know that our community is amazing. They're actually, I think, most of the Brave team, if I'm not mistaken, own some part of the Foxes, whether it's a Den, a Transdimensional, or a Famous Fox, and so they have fun with it, which is kind of cool to see from other tools and such that exist in the space, utilizing some of our tech that we have, since Brave has kind of been around for a while, which is kind of cool. And yeah, so I mean the fun part about that, they've got 60 some million users, and I think on a daily active side, it's somewhere to the tune of 10 plus. I think probably closer to 20 million, and I know we got a fair share of leverage out of everyone posting screenshots of the ads and stuff that went out there that were pretty awesome to kind of see. And I know it brought in some folks that weren't familiar with Foxes, or I would say NFTs to a degree. I think some people were even asking about wallets, which I thought was kind of interesting coming from Brave. But nevertheless, it's exposure for our project, and even other people that know about Foxes that don't own them, had kind of seen them as well up front. So I think it's kind of cool to kind of see that. And we're leveraging Yaoman's artwork, that we have, which you guys can see all throughout here, which is pretty awesome, and it looks great on ads. So shout out to Yaoman. Now Brink can't holler at me for mispronouncing their name. But yeah, I think that was one of the bigger things that I was the most excited for, is just kind of seeing that, because it's one of the things where it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna have ad space here, there, the other place. So the other thing to see it, and so I was pretty stoked about that. So shout out to the Foxes, and shout out to Brave for sure for throwing that up there. Jumping into quality of life updates, quite a few actually this week. Yeah, exactly. And Yaman is a Go artist, 100%. Quality of life updates, we had quite a few. So the first, lend out Foxes are now shown under my history in Foxy Lend. So for those of you that do lend out Foxes, you just are able to keep track of it. I think that's one of the more recent items that people seem to really enjoy. Chess is an example. The chess history that's in your redemption page, people do seem to enjoy that quite a bit. And I think kind of having that history itself for really anything you do in a tool is very helpful to see. So Foxy Lens just helps you kind of keep track of that as well.
Hello.
Hey.
Okay, it works.
There you go. Hi, Brink.
Hey, can you talk in VC also?
Can I talk in?
You should be able to join
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
anybody that can't jump in.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, let me unmute in there as well. So, okay, cool. Yeah, so Peroxide, I can't hear you, but okay, cool. Yeah, more people are jumping in. I can't hear you guys in. I should be able to. Hold on, let me double check that real quick. I should be able to hear them right on both sides. It says it's connected. We'll see how that happens. If by chance I don't hear you guys in DAO VC, I would say just try to send a message to enough people that they'll let me know in portals. Just because I'm only working on my laptop right now. Because if I go to my PC, my baby will wake up and Mama Fox will literally murder me. So doing the best with what I got. All right.
What a champion. Thank you, mate.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for the sound check on that. I can hear you in DAO VC, so I think we're good to go. I should mention too that everything is being recorded, so on both sides is being recorded, so I can get anyone in DAO VC or anyone in portals should be coming through on the audio recording. So just as a heads up on that. All right. So yeah, so the first thing I really mentioned about Brave, for those of you that are in DAO VC, just the hype that was around that, and my personal excitement for getting that through and seeing it live. So I think it's a pretty big accomplishment, for our project, especially kind of coming up close to our 1 year for existence. So kind of getting that ad space, I think was pretty awesome for us. And then I also mentioned quality of life updates for lending out foxes does show under my history in FoxyLend, which is just helpful, for folks that are kind of keeping track of their foxes and kind of what they're really doing with them, primarily, at least for that, on the lending side. Next, quality of life, you can sort by number of missions completed in the Fame leaderboard. So that's just another way we did for filtering in that. I find it the most helpful of going, depending on what you're looking for. I know the other day, I think was it yesterday? Day before, I think it was Friday, that I did a little bit of shopping for next weekend, and so I wanted to buy something a little bit special, and so I hunted around actually for foxes that were listed based off the Fame leaderboard, and I bought a level 40 fox, so that should be fun. And I bought a bunch of other things in there as well.
Who was the Wangman?
Wangman?
Yeah.
What? Wangman punching me? Wangman, stop punching me. That's hilarious. But yeah, so again, another feature in there for sorting out for a number of missions on the Fame leaderboard. Twitter linking is now mandatory. Oh, I'm sorry, that's for Boombox. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so all the rest of the quality of life updates we have in are for Boombox. So it lets you import audio directly from Audius while you're minting, which I think is a pretty sick feature to have for folks that already have their music on Audius. It's just making life easier, and now you can put it into an NFT form in a much cleaner way. Then I have in here, Twitter linking is mandatory in order for you to list. So in order for people to list music, they have to have a Twitter account linked on Boombox, and it will show the lowest listed editions under drops. So if you are going and trying to find the lowest listed edition, you can find that under drops. And then the last thing there is you can delist drops with 0 sales. So if by chance it's priced wrong, or from a marketing side, you have to kind of pivot, you can basically stop the mints that you have in there, and you can basically stop it if you don't have any sales. So you can delist it essentially. But those are the main quality of life updates. I know it's a little bit heavier on the Boombox stuff, primarily because that's the newest piece we put out there. But that's not the only emphasis of things that we're working on, of course, especially with the missions and such that we've been pushing out. So speaking of that, as far as tools go, we've had two really new additions. One more so on the quality of life side, other as like a full-on tool. So Foxy Save which was a request from Requiem to basically be able to download all of the pictures of your NFTs and categorize them for your own personal use. So it is free for Foxes. It's got the same structure, fee structure as, I want to say, Swap. So if you have a transdimensional Fox, quarter off, famous Fox free. Anyone else, it costs a 0.02 Sol to do. And it's simple as that. It creates a zip file that, again, just categorizes your NFTs and then saves those files as actual pictures in there for you. And that's called Foxy Share, or I'm sorry, Foxy Save, which you can grab from our tools page. And then the quality of life update to one of the tools that we have is for Raffle. And for Raffle, it's got a holder-only mode. So what you can do in there, and Dev actually put a document for anyone that's interested in running one of these. I think it's the most helpful, really, for other projects that want to host raffles. But really, it's for anyone that's interested in running it. But you can gate a raffle now to a specific set of holders. So they have to have a NFT from one of up to three collections that you put in there. So what you have to do is, in order to run it properly, you have to go to basically any of the collections that you want, grab one of the NFT tokens, open it up in like Solscan or Solana.fm, and then you have to grab like the creator address that's in there and paste that creator address into one of the three fields when you check off holder only mode. And basically what that means is it will make sure that any other token that's associated with that creator from that collection essentially will be able to buy raffle tickets. So you're gating a raffle to a specific set of holders. So if we wanted to run a raffle as an example for FFF, TFF, and DEN's holders, we can do that now. We can just we can do it regardless, but if we didn't know and didn't have the dev power of the tool, now we could do that. So that's where I see it being leveraged a bit more for other projects. I know other projects are already kind of utilizing their tokens in raffles, but now it's just kind of adding another level to it. And it is worth mentioning, if you do have a transdimensional or famous Fox, that fee does get cut in half as well. So it does cost 1 Sol to start it. It's half a Sol to start it if you have a transdimensional or a famous Fox. So we only do that because it's quite a complicated way of structuring it. So it's a bit more involved than just running a regular raffle. So just a little bit of insight in that. As far as missions went live. I'm not 100% sure. I should double check to see if by chance the crown raid had filled. I was surprised to see that was still, I'll say, stuck. Let's see, where are we at? We're getting close. What do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we're 23 short, I think, of starting. No, I see 19 short. I don't know why I said 23. Yeah, 19 short. Starting up that raid. So if you have a Crown Fox, Transdimensional, Famous, 101, one of the Friends and Foes, throw them up in there. If not, I'm not actually 100% sure when Dev plans to start. I would probably say a 24-hour period. I think that seems fair, but hopefully we get that filled up. I'm surprised that it's not full yet. So if you got a Crown Fox, throw them in there. Yeah, I agree with you, Tack. Once we get 3 Foxes in here, I'll be sick. But for anyone that hasn't started up their missions yet, just to kind of read through them, we've got a Nun Fox, so it's a no head trait, level 20 plus. Then we've got a headset, single headset Fox, level 22 plus. Then we've got a cope and a cope den, and the cope has to be a level 24 plus. We've got 2 t-shirts, shirts or t-shirts, level 22 plus. Then we've got a level 24 plus Halo and Angel Den. And then the last, and by no means the easiest, 2 Centurions and a Centurion Den. So I actually have to send Foxy Mama, the general, so that way we can send our Centurions out on a mission. But the only reason why is she had unlocked and staked, or took her Fox back and staked it. I haven't claimed the general back yet, so so I'm trusting Foxy Mama with the general. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Foxy Mama is now the general. But yeah, that's the last mission, and certainly one of the more challenging requirements to meet. Let's see here. Why now? Yeah, you guys are funny. All right, let's see. Mentioned raid. So yeah, I think let's see. We did have a flip contest that ended last week. That went quite well. Actually, it ended Wednesday. That went quite well. So shout out to the winners of that. You know, it's just one of those things where we are trying to figure out the right balance for it. You know, I know Brink is an avid Foxy flipper, but for everyone else, we're just trying to figure what's like the right balance to promote flip, if that's the right way of phrasing it. I don't know, it's just one of those challenging things where at the end of the day it's entertainment, and I don't know, it's just a little different for us. So that's why we want to do every once in a while these kinds of contests. People were actually mentioning if we could do them on a longer period of time, probably for, you know, some kind of prizes that are worth a bit more. So it's something that we're talking about doing. But yeah, this last one was for about 50-ish soul worth of NFTs, 2 Degen Fat Cats, and a few other prizes that we threw in there. So again, not something that we're planning on doing super frequently, but definitely something that is of interest for folks. Alright, let's see here. I did have a comment from Biscuit. Questive requirements were a little confusing. Elaborate meaning for the brave one. Yeah, you know what, Biscuit? That I'll apologize for a little bit. So in Questive, whenever a quest is posted, and maybe I'll do a post about this within Discord or within events, and I'll tag that specific Questive. When you open that link, it should tell you basically the requirements for it to count. What it's looking for in that one, and this is totally on me, and I'm thinking about resetting it, but if I reset it, I think it might screw over people that have already done it the right way. It's got 2 tags on it, so Famous Fox Fed and Brave, so you have to @ both of those accounts, and then there is a hashtag on there as well. So you want to, as long as you have those 3 pieces in a tweet, with a picture, the picture isn't required, but it's something that like we were saying, that way people can like see it, and that's kind of the main reason for doing kind of like the promotion for it. That's kind of like the main requirement. So you could literally put a tweet out that just is at Famous Fox Fed, at Brave, hashtag whatever. Make sure you put like some kind of word in front, because I think sometimes they do, I'll call them like shadow ban, like posts that are just an @ as the very first thing. But that's all that's required that gets tracked in Questive. So Questive simply just grabs tweets that meets a certain kind of requirement. And as long as you have those pieces to it, it counts it, it puts it into a pool of all the tweets, and then we go through and like manually accept or reject at a period of time. It lasts about a week. Go through, accept, reject, and then once we accept, reject, and we basically fund it with however many fame tokens are required, then people can go in and claim them. So it's like you do a post now, you have a whole week, and really no one can get the reward until that week is up. Hopefully that clarifies. Yeah, a picture of your Fox. If you could grab a picture of one of the Danners, even if you kind of like, I don't know if they're still running active right now. They might not be. So if they're not, you could probably grab, you know, a screenshot from like one of the other people that had posted it. But just grabbing one of those banners from Brave, I think would be kind of cool, because that's really what we're trying to promote, is like how it looks on Brave that people would kind of see, which is pretty fun. Some people posted about it organically, especially people that are outside of Foxes that know of the Foxes and they use Brave. and they're like, oh shit, famous boxes are on Brave advertisement space. Like, this is kind of cool. But of course, like, those ones won't count because they didn't put like all the different requirements we have to them. So hopefully that
Hello.
helps. Yeah. Question, or someone just saying hi?
I love you.
Thanks. Anyhow, that was fun. I think those were like the main announcements that I had. I know we have in here as well, so obviously you guys are I shouldn't say as obvious, because I know I did jump in our DAO VC chat as well. But we are running this in Portal, so there is quite a few Voxes that are in our Portal space as well. But yeah, Brink did majority of the work in here for kind of curating the space. And there's Brink. But yeah, I mean, this is our kind of decked out party room. There might be little tweaks here or there that we do between now and I think our first unofficial planned event that we're going to be doing in here will be Friday. But yeah, I think we're planning on doing a little bit of time on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I don't think too terribly long, but we'll do some kind of fun stuff. And we'll put out like a more formal agenda on like all the things as it gets closer. Most likely on Wednesday, because I think that's just makes the most sense for us. But yeah, we're planning on, in the space you can kind of see the banners, you can see the Foxes that are on my left, most people's right. And then yeah, you've got all the banners. Some things you can interact with, so feel free to kind of poke around and click on things. And I do have the TV screen up here that has the the weekly town hall giveaway associated with it, with Brink's beautiful 8K Fox up top, and some like informational plaques. But yeah, pretty well like curated space, for Foxes to kind of showcase everything, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, this is our spot that we'll have, and we'll mess around with it come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and of course today for a little bit for people that want to hang out. Let's see here. And then the last thing that we're at least giving a hint to, which we did a little bit more than that, but the 101 den. So we showed both the exterior and interior for it. So that'll be auctioned for Foxy. That's to kind of commemorate our 1-year anniversary. So it's an anniversary den. And then we do have KK that is doing a 101 Fox as well. So so just to kind of keep an eye out for that. I believe I'm not sure if we'll have should we have a sneak peek of that on Wednesday, Brink?
No.
No. Okay. All right, we'll leave it at that. And then yeah, so I know I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I did pick up some prizes that we'll have for raffles that we're going to be running. So between all the prizes, we have 20 plus prizes that we're planning on doing. It does include FFFs, TFFs, and dens. It's the way that we wrote it. It's not 20 of each of those. It's 20 plus of like total. So it's not 20 famous boxes, 20 TFFs, and 20 dens. Just wanted to kind of throw that out there. And then we will have a mission with a special reward as well. So keep an eye out for that. And I think that's all I would want to hint to on it. But that special reward can at least say that it might look familiar to some things that we've been posting throughout like our whole last year. So that I would kind of throw out there. Let me jump into DAO VC chat too. I should have done that.
I've been looking. I haven't seen anything.
Okay. All right. Cool.
The green light is tripping me out. Can you hear me right now? It's like not always on.
I can hear you only when you're talking.
Well, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Can you hear me right here?
Well, I mean, like the green light only comes on when you're talking. I don't know if
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, I'm not seeing the green light, is why I was confused. But carry on.
That's strange. I see it. And I see my own as well, so that's why that's kind of strange to me. Alright, so let's see here. Let me scroll through and see what other questions folks might have asked in portals, because I'm not seeing anything else in Discord. Might went through Questive. That was a good question. Can we get Tier 2 info leaks, or will TFF Tier 1 happen first? Yeah, TFF Tier 1 will not happen first. So Tier 2 will happen next. It's a good question around an informational leak on Tier 2. I think with all the other things we have going on right now, I don't know if we have like an official date when we're going to be pushing Tier 2 out. I do know that we have officially signed off / checkmarked the artwork. So artwork for Tier 2 and Tier 3 are both done. So it's just a matter of figuring out when is the right time for us to announce it. I'll chat with Dev some and try to get a more solid date / time on it, as I know people are very interested in going above level 40. Yeah, just saw that someone else had pinged me in regular Fox chat. But yeah, I know people are very interested in going above level 40. I think, what's our highest right now? I think I saw 57. I want to actually mess up that page there. Let's see, fame leaderboard. Yeah, 57 is the highest right now. So that's 20 missions complete, 217,000 fame, which is wild. So keep up the great work. But yeah, I love seeing the number of 40 pluses that we have now, and the upgrades. I think they're fantastic. I mean, that really was kind of the idea for some of the recent changes that we had done. As an example, changing up the amount of fame you end up getting for the fame only missions, and us adding in the fame tokens, for questives, I think are super helpful. So more than happy to kind of take feedback on that too, if you guys think that is more helpful. I've certainly noticed it from especially new folks in the community seem to be a lot happier about that as an option. So that way it gives them a little bit more to play with the way that we have kind of gamified staking. All right, but that looks good. Any other questions? I don't know if anyone has questions via chat.
I got questions in the room.
Sure, what's up?
So I saw that the Tier 3 is only for the epic traits and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am a little sad that, the Bitcoin trait is not on there. So I guess my question would be, at some point, after the reveals and all that, have you guys considered making an item? So let's just say the item's called Upgrade. And then if you don't have an epic trait or whatever,
Why is nobody speaking?
and you get it from a chest and whatnot, that the artist will make a Tier 3 for your trait, or is that not doable?
Yeah, good question. Okay, so that becomes tricky. So Wang, and for everyone else that's in portals that couldn't hear you, I'll repeat it. So the question was around the fact that for Tier 3, as it's originally planned right now, it's only counted for rare and epic traits. Is there the potential of adding an item or something along those lines to make a Tier 3 trait essentially for that box? Is that a pretty accurate Volt?
Yeah. Yep.
Volt,
Exactly.
Or Donnie, sorry. Yeah. So I think as it stands right now, I would say the wormhole device is. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm getting an echo from somewhere. Okay. Yeah, that's gone. Yeah, the wormhole device, I would say, probably is the only item currently that I would say could kind of get you there a little bit. So if you've looked at the one that Scuba Steve did for his, the armor had kind of changed, and the hat, although he kept it the same, had done a little bit of a change to it. And of course the whole Fox themselves got destroyed. Well, not destroyed in that sense, but it was just skin or bones, which was kind of cool. But yeah, I would say on our priority list as of right now, yeah, tier 3 is just for the rare and epic, essentially to kind of give them a different I don't know, elevation for the individual attributes that exist. And then, we haven't discussed too much about like TFF upgrades, but based off of the interest from everyone that I've seen, TFFs most likely will get some kind of an upgrade associated to them. And then I think once we figure out all of that, we could probably kind of revisit, what we might want to do with like some of the more common traits. I really think there's like a lot of different options that I don't want to like set in stone at all, or kind of like throw out things of like speculation, but there's just so many different things you can do once we've already have the collection and kind of community behind it, based off of what people are interested in. So I would kind of throw that out there where I'd never say never, but I'd say that it would just be like kind of low on our priority list to add kind of something like that. And especially to make it trait specific, where if we had like a single item that was for, just making like a Bitcoin shirt as an example, like a tier 3 trait upgrade for it, everyone else that has a Bitcoin shirt would also want to get that trait. Most likely, maybe not everybody, but some other people. And so that's where we'd have to kind of figure out what makes the most sense. Like maybe we make some kind of event behind it, based off of the number of people that vote or respond or do a mission or something like that. Like I said, there's possibilities are kind of endless, but I think that could be kind of cool for us to try and figure out down the road.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And yeah, I apologize for the folks in portals that couldn't hear it, but hopefully I captured that enough for folks. All right, let's see here. Got a couple of questions/items in the portals. First question is, can we figure out some legit way to have poker nights again? What I will say is, for anyone interested in poker, DM, I don't know, Pugs, or you don't have to DM, maybe just ping. Ping Pugs, or let me think of someone else that's in that chat that probably wouldn't mind being pinged. 1 second. Alright, unofficial poker. There you are. Pugs or Rec are probably, yeah. If you guys are okay with that, but yeah, like ping Pug or Rec, just to be asked to get the info for it. So there is an unofficial Twitter chat channel for ideation of it, and so I think they'll have a whole big thing that kind of they're getting together for it. So yeah, I would just say if you're interested in kind of some level of poker nights to reach out to be kind of added to that, and I'll leave it at that for now. Let's see. After we get 3D foxes, any chances we can get 3D den foxes from the chillin'? Yeah, that's an interesting question, Takoyaki. So I know I know Brink was playing around. And Brink, did you the one that you created? Did you actually create that in VR chat, or did you create that in a different program?
Say what? My den?
Yeah.
It's Unity, but it was just made for VR chat.
Okay. So yeah, so you built it in Unity. Okay. Yeah, because I know that 3D seems to, at least maybe it's just me going down the rabbit hole this week, seems to be becoming a little bit more and more popular as far as like the interest for folks that are creating things in it. So I'll have to kind of pick Brink's brain on that to kind of see. I don't know how easy or difficult that would be, but I think
3D is very easy. The problem is making it quality.
Yeah.
I learned to make my den in like 2 weeks, and I could have probably sold it as like a metaverse pass or some stupid shit.
Yeah. I was messing around in Blender yesterday or the day before, but I was trying to make a stool that you could actually sit on by just like grabbing a stool that kind of someone had made and make it so that you can actually sit on it, which is kind of cool. But but yeah, like Brink said, I mean, it definitely is about like the quality side. I mean, even for 3D Foxes, right? Like, and I know it's a little bit more complicated for the way that we're designing out like that whole thing, and it's going to be also like phases or pieces to it, because you've got the one from like a consumer side for folks downloading and playing in Mixamo and Adobe Aero and a few things like that. That won't be metaverse ready. That's just a model to play with, or like 3D print or something like that. And then you have, the connection with an actual metaverse that takes, the attributes and the base models and kind of has the rig mapped to the metaverse's rig. And then you just kind of token gate it based off the metadata to individually recreate that actual avatar within a metaverse. That is a more complicated piece to it. But yeah, having said all that, I'll never say never to things, especially from like a metaverse side. I don't know how much interest people would have in like their own dens, and then once you like start making the dens, I know it becomes a little more complicated where you can do something kind of similar to Animal Crossings, where you have the exterior, right, that looks just like the regular exterior of the actual den, and then when you go inside, you don't necessarily see what the outside looks like, so you have the individual rooms. And so based off of, the metadata that the individual NFT has, you'd have those rooms. They wouldn't necessarily have kind of the same decorations and color and such, because they kind of all be like a base model. But we really, I think, and I know I don't only say only, but I know it's not just an only. We have 20, 23, 24 unique exteriors, minus the 101s, and then as far as the interiors go, it's basically the same kind of copy, but we also have the like the not 101s that you can purchase, but the actual DAO interiors and some of the more special ones like Orange Origin and such that are kind of more one-off. So it really isn't a whole lot of models, but like Brink said, it's just making sure like if we do get them done, that they're done in like a clean fashion that is quality. So yeah, I'll never say never, but I think it's kind of thinking about the whole package and how we can make it quality would be important for us, because we definitely pride ourselves on the experience side for what Foxes create. So anyway, good question. Something that to ideate on, but nothing official as of yet for dens in the metaverse. And you know what, Taco? I'm not sure. Brink, do you have a pod?
What?
A pod for portals.
Yeah, I have like a bunch of portals cards just laying around haphazardly. Someone's gonna slip.
Well, like the pod ones though, they're like the mini spaces, right? How big are they?
I haven't even gone in one yet.
You haven't gone in one? Okay.
I went into one. They're not that big.
They're not.
They're like they're pretty small. Like, you wouldn't really be
cozy.
able to put stuff in there. Yeah, it's like already
A room.
decorated or whatever.
It's like a
Okay.
dorm room
Yeah.
for one person.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, basically.
Okay. Can you modify it at all?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
you could
decorate
do
it like
stuff.
any
There's
other.
just not a lot of room. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's helpful at least. But yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, I have to go and kind of check it out myself. But
It's basically half the size of the upstairs balcony.
half the size of the upstairs balcony. Okay.
Yeah, it is not big at all. It's like
Okay.
a bed, a window, and a little nook area.
And does it have, I'm guessing, like a short ceiling to it and all? You don't have much wall
Yeah,
space?
it's pretty
Mhm.
short. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. No, that's good to know. It's helpful at least. But yeah, no, I think that's a pretty good question. Footprint wise, it would probably encompass the size of a den room. Okay. Yeah, I think it depends. I mean, I know that some of our den rooms, they look smaller. Like I think the Solana one, like Brink had created, definitely is one of the smaller ones. But like Centurion is an example. The interior room on that one's actually quite large, or seemingly quite large based off of the items that are in it. Same thing for like the Angel Den and a few others. It definitely seems like it has space, but for the most part, definitely kind of more on the smaller side. Mun's commented in Dow VC to talk dirty to him. It's funny. Let's see here. I might have questions in Federation. Alright, question. What do I think about Quetzal and Krek? So I had a cat. I actually bought it. I don't remember if I bought it on like FOMO as they were kind of going up. But I ended up listing it at 50 and it sold in like the recent pump, so I was like kind of happy that I got out of it. I like the team. I mean, I think the publicity that they get is not terrible. You know, I'm not really 100% sure what they're like working on creating, but yeah, I had them for a hot minute. I'll be honest with you, for the most part right now it's Foxes or anniversary stuff. Actually Sharky Fee, which I know some people know that I mess around with that some. I know they're having a mint kind of coming up for them, and I know they're going to do some changes to their platform, but I think that's a pretty decent one. And then of course, you know, some of the other things they're going out for like DGods and Utes and HG and Hade swap with ABC. It's just some of the more, it's like bigger items to kind of watch of what's kind of really going on in like the bigger space. I think I haven't seen too much about Kets with the exception of like their, I don't know if it's considered mutated art or something along those lines, but yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what they do. But currently, I have no Kets exposure, so I'll throw that out there. All right, let's see. and then Newt asking about the questions. Yeah, so I think Brink saw that earlier, and so Brink added some more question marks in here for you. I don't know if let me see, is Newt in our portals or is he in the Dow VC?
He's in Dow VC.
Oh, okay. All right, well, we threw more question marks in here that you may or may not be able to interact with. But I love question marks. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's one thing too, like for our project, I mean it's worth throwing out there for what it's worth. You know, a lot of things that we push are things that, you know, we probably say like last minute, like, oh, by the way, like Foxy Save, and I know it was a suggestion by Rec, but you know, we didn't do like this whole big hype thing about like, oh, you know, you were interested in downloading all of your NFTs and categorizing them, you know, we might build a tool. It's just Dev puts it together and pushes it out, which is hilarious. So yeah, so from like a hype standpoint, the question marks certainly kind of helps us out. But realistically, the original intent for question marks from a larger scale was around the soul that or the rewards that we end up swapping out for soul within our treasure chest to kind of see how much that would positively impact, you know, essentially the reward side for folks and Foxes. And I think it's been doing quite well. I think a lot of people are very interested in it. And I think us kind of doubling down on Questive to kind of let more folks know that, you know, we've got some pretty legit rewards outside of just using our tools has been super, super helpful for folks. So, but yeah, that's that. Let me just see if there's anything else. If not, I'll get to the fun part for those of you that are in here. Now, I guess it is kind of tricky, Brink. I think I'm kind of screwing myself over here by swapping between both portals and Dow VC for the number of people that we have here. And how to pick them out. All right, so let's see. I know I have a 13 count here, so that's helpful at least. Is there an easy way for me to see everyone that's in our portal, Brink?
No.
Of course not.
Wait, room options? Delete all furniture?
Nope, don't do that.
No, actually that's interesting because I would have assumed the little button in the bottom right would be a button, but it's not.
All right, so let's see here. Well, let's do this, because I like randomness, and I like fun things, and hopefully most folks have access to the portals. If you don't, I'll apologize, but at the same time, sorry, not sorry. I'll pick 3 random people from portals. I'll do a random number generator still, and then I'll just try and figure out between this chaos that exists how to count through people, and then we'll do it that way. That's the best I got.
Tell everybody to line up.
Oh yeah, everybody could line up. That could work too.
Single file line.
Yeah, single file line. Now the good thing is we don't have 100 people in here, so this is just going to be pure chaos anyway. So if we want to try to go like, we'll start we'll start at the pictures.
What kind of line is that?
Yeah, start over here by the pictures, and then just go straight across the room to the couches. All right, and we'll figure this chaos out. This is the first time doing it, so I appreciate.
Look at their little square heads.
Yeah, this is perfect. This will work. All right, so I'll give like a minute for people to get in here too from DAO VC if they want to, if they're able to.
Wait, you can probably do a screen share on the TV and pick a random number.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do. I think I can.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I should be able to.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Does that show up on the TV?
Yep, I see it.
All right, perfect.
Portals is so cool.
Portals so cool. All right, so I got that. Let me bring up Portals again, and then let me bring up Discord. All right, cool. Dre's on his way. Yes, I'll give like a couple of minutes for other people to jump in here. Let's see. So we're at 15 minus myself, right? So we're at 14 right now. We've got a perfect Fox line. This is definitely. Is there an easy way for me to screenshot this?
Yeah, the screenshot button.
Is there a screenshot button? Or you just mean like on your actual keyboard? You're such a fucker. On some of these platforms, they actually do have that, so don't give me that. All right, Kaz is here. Did Dre get in here yet?
No, he's probably making like a cool avatar, knowing Dre.
All right, so we'll give Dre a sec. Let's see, anyone else coming? 21%. All right, cool.
Someone just entered the portal.
All right, so we're up to 17. I have to pick a different time to restart my computer. All right, cool. Tomorrow, perfect. Good to go. Expensive Goblin posted, is this a good deal? I might just swap. They're swapping Foxy for Foxy. I don't even know why they let you do that.
Where? Where's that?
In the DAO VC chat.
Oh. I typed in on Jupiter earlier Foxy, and there's like a new Fox coin that pops up with like an Apple emoji Fox.
That's funny.
That sucks for us because so many people are gonna be like, "Is this the right one?"
Well, I wonder which aggregator it's on. I wonder if we can contact them to have them remove it.
And we can be the only Fox on the blockchain.
Well, not Fox, but is it called Foxy?
Yeah, if you type Foxy, it comes up.
Yeah, I'll also look
it's called
at
Foxy.
Yeah. Screw that noise. All right. I think we've got everyone. So I'll at least start picking our people. And oh, I heard another ding. So we're up to 19. All right, I'm gonna start from the left. So for me, Rec is number 1. All right, so hopefully everyone knows their numbers. All right, so jump in line. We're up to 19.
Kudos, get in line.
Yeah, Kudos, get in line all the way at the end. Past Kaz, Dre, and then you.
Kudos, get in line.
This is so funny. Well, we're stress testing portals here with 20 people. They said I think you can get up to 100, which would be absolutely hilarious. All right, so we've got 18. So max is 18. Man, you guys have a 1 out of 6 chance of being picked. Look at that. All right, so let me just get a text doc up so that way I can keep track.
Go ahead, put a candle on the console under the leaderboard for you.
All right, you guys ready for our first number? 9. Almost dead middle.
That's me.
Oh, it's not. It is.
How are you guys dancing?
Oh, it's Foxy Mama.
Oh.
Rigged.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you're the blonde, right?
Yeah.
Alright, Foxy Mama's number 1.
No.
Reroll?
Reroll.
Alright, reroll. Foxy Mama wants a reroll. 18, that's easy enough. Who just came in? Kudos?
Is that me?
Yeah, Kudos. Alright, Kudos, you're number 1. Let's see, roll number 2.
Kudos. Congratulations.
Number 2, who's next to Rec? Can't see your name. Zane. Alright, Zane's number 2.
Who?
And last but not least, number 10, who's next to Foxy Mama? To her right, Spoopy.
Oh,
Alright.
and Eva just joined.
Spoopy Vsauce?
Spoopy Vsauce. Alright, they joined in the perfect time to see what the prizes are for the others that were here early. Alright, we got our contestants. Let's close that out. Let me refresh my wallet. Alright, and we're going to do them one at a time. Let me just double check and make sure. So if you guys want to feast your eyes on our TV over here.
Feast
You
your
can
eyes.
make it bigger, too.
Oh, you can make it bigger. You can click on it, and that way you can see the same thing that I'm seeing. So first chest here is for Kudos. Ready, steady, go. Let's see what we get. Oh, 968.
Fat Foxy bag.
I know, that's a good one. Alright, 968.
Let's get it, baby.
Foxy. Alright, so open more chests. Drop this down to 1. Next up is Zane. Let's see what Zane gets.
If anybody gets stuck in full screen mode on the redeem, like the screen share, you can click, if you can like wiggle your monitor or wiggle your view and click the screen again. That happened to me.
That sounded hot. You talking about wiggling?
Oh man, not in public. 606.
Alright. 606 Foxy. At least it's not 666 Foxy. Scam.
That's like 0.1 Solana.
Alright, our last one is Spoopy Vsauce.
Spoopy. It's Spoopy season.
Alright, let's see what Spoopy gets. It's true.
Come on, Spoopy.
Bring it home. Get something good. Last week, third person got something good too. 776 Foxy.
Congratulations.
Yeah, good job. I mean, it's gonna be most often with common
Not even 10 soul.
common chests that people will get just Foxy, but yeah.
Dang, the whole squad
doing the
pulling
portals
up.
one right now. Yeah, it was me. Expensive. Had a close screen. So what did you say? You said about wiggling?
Yeah, I was trying to do this.
Brink, how do you wiggle out?
Sorry? Oh, just like rotate your screen so you can see the side of it and click it again. I click that on the wall.
Oh, there's an exit.
Okay. It should be better now.
There you go.
Because when I was looking at
able
it
to get
before,
out.
it was like the screen share was too tall, so I couldn't click the exit button. So you just have to re-click the TV. Cool.
None for us here on NVC. No, I said that expensive. I said I was going to run it with randomness within our portals and to jump over, and folks had done it, and I apologize in advance. Yeah, so Dre is asking, for Ready Player Me, when you first log into portals, I believe you have to create an account, right, Brink? I don't think you can make one randomly.
I think you have to put it in the email, maybe.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it like saves to your cookies or something, because I never have to remake it.
Well, it does. Yeah, it's nice too. And if you use other metaverses as well that have Ready Player Me, it'll port over your same character, which is nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That never gives me anything. That's a lie, expensive. You know it.
Dude, don't give him the Foxy. He said he got rugged. I have a free prize.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
So kudo, Zane, and Spoopy. Yeah, just drop me your wall to a
Really
DM,
cool.
and I'll shoot out some Foxy to you guys shortly after we wrap up here, which sounds good. Any other questions, comments? I'm not seeing any on my side, and I appreciate everyone for jumping in the portals. I'm not gonna kick anyone out. Feel free to kind of poke around, check it out if you haven't had a chance, especially for folks that just joined in for our little giveaway there at the end. Check out all the banners, all the foxes.